The former head of Elections BC is accused of misspending our tax dollars, taking his wife on a luxury trip to Kenya and billing it back to taxpayers. Now, we spoke with Craig James today. He says he has no problems with his travel expenses. But he's not the only one. Also on board, the Speaker of the House and his wife, and North Island NDP MLA Claire Trevena, also on that trip, and she brought her husband too, courtesy of the taxpayers. But when asked about the cost of that trip,
I'm not aware of the full cost of it. In fact, I'm not aware of the cost of it. But we were invited to go. I was invited to go as the Deputy Speaker, and I was very pleased to take that invitation.
So you think it was taxpayer money well spent?
I think that if we are part of associations that involve us in international issues, as part of the Commonwealth, which has been common practice, every 2 years there has been an International Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. There have been people going from both the government side and the opposition side to discuss issues that matter to the running of the legislature and the improvement of the running of the legislature, we always hope.
But you're not answering my question. The question is, do you think this is a reasonable expenditure of taxpayer dollars?
I think that if we, as legislatures, we're expected to do a number of things. As the Deputy Speaker, I was expected to do a number of things.
Now, Integrity BC disagrees. It says looking through those Elections BC expenses, there were cheaper ways to travel. And the organization says the expenses show a sense of entitlement.
In today's economic circumstances, as the Minister of Finance constantly likes to point out, particularly last week when he was talking about ICBC, that it's not appropriate for all of these officials to have represented the government of British Columbia and have their wives and our spouses accompany them. It's a waste of money. And I don't think that there's a single taxpayer in the province of British Columbia who would be able to say tonight over dinner, oh yes, we got this value from that conference.
The Speaker of the Legislature and MLAs overseeing spending have been under fire when BC's Auditor General uncovered a lack of controls and accountability at the legislature. Now, they met for the first time in public today to correct that problem. Craig James is now the clerk at the legislature and is responsible for cleaning up the books there and providing more accountability. And Integrity BC says Hudson, in his former job, after Craig James became the Chief Electoral Officer, he actually changed the travel policy, which in turn then allowed his wife to travel with taxpayers picking up the bill. The current Chief Electoral Officer has since cancelled that policy. Elections BC is refusing to comment tonight. Craig James says he's going to make himself available for an interview later this week.
All right, we'll ask some more questions about this. Stephen, thank you.
You're welcome.